Okay. Shabbos Nachamu, Shabbos Nachamu Avit Shin Aleph. Yedua shegam ha'aftoris the sheva the nechmasa shemaftirin ben Chamis Yishayahu me'achar Tisha B'Av ad Rosh Hashanah shehim lefi hazman ulefi ha'ma'ora v'loi k'moi ha'aftoris yishar Shabbos Hashanah shehim me'inyan ha'parshiyas doime b'doime. So usually we say haftarah that has to do with the parsha. Now it's a sequence of 7 haftarahs that are according to the happenings of the time and not according to the parsha. Yesh lahem kesher v'shaychus le'inyan ha'parshiyas kiven shegam ha'ma'oros dezman hashana lefi hazman lefi ha'ma'ora shayachan parshas hashavua. There's still a connection with the parsha, of course. כדברי השלוש, המועדים של כל השנה, בכולן יש שייכות לאיסן הפרשיות שחולס בהן, כי הכל מיד השם השכיל. Wow. I thought that that's a chidush that the Rebbe usually is machadish. I didn't know that actually already from the Shalah, he was also teaching us that the time and the parsha were connected. Let me enlarge the timer here. So even though these are haftarahs that have to do with the happenings of the time, but we're going to see how they're also connected with the parshas of the time.
I also want to point out that it's important to notice who the Rebbe is referencing. Besides for the fact that it's the Rebbe's words, so obviously it's important, but also it's important for Afatza. When you're going out to the world and you're teaching them some of the Rebbe's Torah, it's much more powerful.
Right.
When you quote the people that the Rebbe is quoting.
Right.
It's not to say Chas V'Shalom Lashon Hara, but it's a laziness that Chassidim have, that sometimes we like turn the Rebbe Sikha into everything. The Rebbe asks this, the Rebbe says this, the Rebbe says that, the Rebbe answers this, and then the Rebbe asks this again. Like meanwhile, it's not all the Rebbe is bringing down Kol HaTorah Kula. So give them credit, maybe Gula La'ilam, and also it'll be more accepted, especially when we're dealing for Friday Yid and they don't know the difference. But when it comes to like the Fruma Yid, when you're trying to teach them the Rebbe's Torah, it helps a lot more to show them that the Rebbe is bringing from the Shalah and bringing. So it's important to note these things. Well, b'nidin didan Shabbos Nachamu al Shem Hascholas Haftarah Nachamu Ami Hascholas V'Roish Shekevel Kol Pratei Ha'inyanim the Sheva the Nechamasa Shayach LeParshas V'Eschanan Nachamu LeV'Eschanan. So, when we speak about Shabbos Nachamu,
I love how you stop. It's the best. It's like a breath of fresh air. Anyways, it's good. We really have to figure out how to get on more. I think that's how I feel. Just something more solid, so that it doesn't happen so. Whatever. Anyways, just a thought. If anybody has any ideas, let's do it. And just to speak for myself a little bit, I have a dream and a wish to get one of these sichas, but really learn all the Ma'amakayamas, and then learn the sicha. I have no doubt that I don't know what I'll be. I just won't be able to handle it probably. But I really think that's crazy because, especially in these, and also towards the end, like the Rebbe just does so many quotes. Like, of course, you know about this already, and you're like, okay, it's the end. So it's like, yeah, Moshiach now, okay, fine. But meanwhile, the last couple of months, he just quote everything. So, anyways, that's my take for it. But I definitely hear the idea of really getting the source. So shkai for that, Levi. Just to read a little bit at least. When Nekudas Habir, Shenachamu Nachamu Ami, Nachamu B'Kiflaim. It means we have a double. How do you say it again? No. Nachamu. How to say it?
I'm guessing the word is consolation, Nechama. So Nekudas Habir, Shenachamu Nachamu Ami, Nechama B'Kiflaim. Al Bayis Rishon Val Bayis Sheni, we have a double consolation for the first Beis Hamikdash, the second Beis Hamikdash. Hi Nachamu de binyan Beis Hamikdash hashlishi begulu hashlishis. So the point of the whole explanation is that the real consolation of both of them, the double consolation that we have, is the fact that we're getting the third Beis Hamikdash will be built in the Gula Ashlishis. Bayis Nitzchi, Gula Nitzchis, she'ein achrei Golus. Ve'inyan zeh shayach gam levo'es Chanan. Tfilose shel Moshe leikanis la'aretz k'yadua, she'ilu zach Yisrael l'knisa la'aretz l'binan Beis Hamikdash al yedei Moshe. He said, "Take it from Yad Geula Nitzchi, so Beis Hamikdash Nitzchi." So the Rebbe jumps straight into the beer right away. Here's the connection. The connection is that the Nachamu that we're getting is obviously hinting on the ultimate Nachamu, which is when we get the Geula Mitzvah Shlema, when the third Beis Hamikdash will be built, and that's exactly the teichen of what Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to achieve when he was davening to the Eibishter to please go into Eretz Yisrael. If he would have succeeded, says whatever the Gemara, the Medrash, that he would have succeeded to bring Gula Mitzvah Shlema. If Moshe Rabbeinu would have gone into Eretz Yisrael, that would have been the ultimate Nitzchis, the everlasting Geula and Beis Hamikdash, etc., etc. So that's the connection with yeah. Go ahead, lady.
We're on Beis?
I guess so. Yeah.
Beis. Avol b'parshas v'eschanan mudgish gam u'beikir shebakashas Moshe liikanes la'aretz lo niskayma. But what's interesting is Nachamu is about the Nechama of the third Beis Hamikdash, but when it comes to Parshas Eschanan, it seems like it's just the opposite. Eschanan is emphasizing that Moshe's request to go into the land was denied. No Nechama. You don't get to go in. Kimefurish B'Kra, as it says in the Kra, Vayis Aber Hashem bi lemanachem v'lo yishamai Eloi. Moshe says, the Eibishter got angry with me because of you guys and didn't listen to my request. V'ad shevayemer Hashem Elai, he says that Hashem told me, Al teisef daber Elai, Geimer Al teisef daber Elai oid v'daber hazeh, do not continue to speak to me about this. Alei reish hapiska Geimer, go up on the where there's a view and check it out. Kiloi saver sayadin hazeh. You won't pass over this Jordan. Command to Yeshua will do it. He's going to inherit for them the land. So Chanan is emphasizing that it was not through Moshe, it was through Yeshua.
Yeah, I know, actually.
Mike.
They can't play. Mike. So first of all, I just want to point out how many sources there are already. I mean, that's insane. I mean, we did one ice. Look how many sources there are already. And that footnote 4 over there, that looks pretty amazing. I don't know if you want to take a look at it. If anybody has the guts to check it out, we should definitely do that. I just want to point something out because last week's Sikha, the Rebbe already touched on this. The Rebbe already spoke about this, about Vizchanan and how it works and and Moshe Rabbeinu's davening and all the stuff. The Rebbe already spoke about it, and it's just the Rebbe really, asking a question which he just spoke about, as if nobody ever heard it before, because he really I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, maybe you guys can correct me if not, he just asked this question. We spoke about this last week. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, ve'eich mas im ze im teichen hafteira al dvar bitul shlilas achurban v'agolus al yedei hanechama b'kiflaim shebegeula nitzchis beis hamikdash nitzchi. So how does it add up? How does it match up? The fact that in Parshas Eschanan is emphasized that Moshe Rabbeinu eventually did not go in, his tefillah was not niskabel, and instead Yeshua was going to go in, and things were going to lead to a point where there was a churban and golus afterwards. How does that connect with the Nechama b'kiflayim of Nachamu Ami, that there is a consolation? Yeah, v'bitul shlos achavim ha'golus. Oh, that's in Parshas was Hanan was Kisei Lidbanim? Yeah. Okay, very nice. Okay, so in the where's the time holding? So in this very parsha, I should probably pay a little more attention when I'm reading Chizas. That in this parsha we should have the Nachamu, which is that it's hopefully going to last forever. I guess we have to find another shaychus where how Yeshua. I'm guessing it's going to be that the golus itself became a gula. Go ahead.
Shaw's making predictions. Everybody, take note. It's on record. It's good. Everything at the end of the day is Geula.
Yeah.
That's the main point here. I think also that's really what the Rebbe, like Isaac was asking, seemingly we spoke about this last week. I think that's really like when you come with the if we go back to the basics. So really, Torah, if you come to a parsha and you're like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure I saw the same Aleph Beis, last page. Yeah, everything same. Aleph Beis Gimel. There's Chaf Beis Eisius to the Torah, and from the Chaf Beis Eisius we have many combinations. So Adarabah, like you have, for example, the Alter Rebbe loves to ask certain questions in Torah Erlich the Torah, and to a newbie, it's like, oh, we just answer this. We just ask the same question. So Adarabah, exactly what we're doing. We're asking the same question. But now we're going to see a whole new light and a whole new parsha and a whole new haftarah and a whole new rebbe and chidushim and the approach it as if it's a brand new thing. Like, what a question this is! This is a massive question. I'm desperate to know what the answer is, and we have to. That's the mitzvah. The Torah should be brand new.
Torah Chadasha. So I like it, and thank you. Okay, so let's move a little forward. I'll try. Here we go. Al Piloshin.
Efshar Leimer.
Oh, Efshar Leimer. Al Piloshin. Yeah, Efshar Leimer. She Parshas V'Eschanan. Thank you. The Parshas V'Eschanan Mudgosh Atzorich VaHechich B'Nachamu B'Kiflayim Shebegeula Amitis VaShlemo Beglal. Churban v'agulus, kivan shechnis la'aretz lo yisa yidei Moshe. Mistar v'lim mishigav v'nachama b'kiflayim atzma lo rak atzerich v'hechich ba shach teichnas shel parshas v'eschanan kilikaman. So I'm not sure what's the possible way to say. So in parshas v'eschanan you could say that because of the great need and we're kind of desperate for a nechama, this double nechama of the Gula. The Gula Mitzvah Shlema, because of the destruction and the Gullus. Since that the going into Eretz Yisrael wasn't through Moshe Rabbeinu, so therefore you could say that also the Nechama, this double Nechama itself, is connected with the idea of Eschanim. So we're saying because Moshe didn't go in, that's why we do need the Nechama. Is that what we're saying?
Oh. Yeah, I think that's exactly the idea. That the fact that that it didn't happen, and instead Yeshua bin Nun went in, and as a result of that, later on, not as a result of him, but eventually the history has proven that there was a Churban and a Golus. So in Parshas V'Eschanan it's accentuated that we really needed that Nechama, the double Nechama, that there's going to be a Geula Nitzchis. So maybe that could answer it. But the Rebbe says we have to say that it's more than just the need for the Kiflayim that has a connection with Ha'eschanan. It can't just be that it's only about the need for the Nechama. It's got to be that the direct The Nachamu itself there is directly connected with V'eschana, not just the need to have it. So let's see how. Gimel. V'yuvan behektin habir b'toichana shel hafteira hirishena d'sheva l'nechmasa Nachamu Nachamu Ami Nechama b'kiflayim. So first let's look into this hafteira a little bit. Shaychusa shel hafteira l'inen ha'geula hi noisef al kol ha'inen ha'nechama Nachamu gam mitzad ha'inyan ha'kefel Nechama b'kiflayim. There's a special connection of this haftarah to the Geula, not just the general idea that by then we're going to have consolation on the whole Golus, but the fact that it's double. Nechama b'kiflayim, that's something that's particularly connected with the Geula. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm turning off the mute when it's already off. Good. So, ki yadua shekefel shayech umeir al inin haGeula. We know that something that's double is connected and is showing to the concept of Geula. It says in the Medrash, there are 5 letters that were doubled, and all of them are terms of redemption. Kaf and Chaf, Kaf, line Chaf, Shabai Nigal Avram Avinu Meirokastim, Shnemer Lech Lecha Me'artzecha, Mem Chulu, Nun Chulu, Pei, Bay Nigalu Avisenu Mitzrayim, Shnemer Pokoit Bakadati, the Yidden went on Mitzrayim with a double Pei. Sam Tzadik Bay Asad HaKadosh Baruch Hu Legal Yisrael, B'Seif Malchus Revius, Shnemer Ish Tzemach Shmoy, Mitachtav Yitzmach. So you have these 5 letters that show on Geula. They're doubles. So the Rebbe is bringing a medrash that shows that anything that's a double shows on Geula. As you see that these 5 letters that the medrash points out that they were nichpol and they're Geula. So this proves that there's a direct connection between something that's double to Geula. And this is pretty much the foundation of this sikha.
So, Stam, a side note, which I think you might find interesting. Somebody one time wanted to rearrange the Aleph Beis, just the Aleph Beis in the Siddur, how it's set up, so that it's easier to read for the kids. And the Rebbe, like, are you crazy? Like, no way. Anyways, so I just wanted to share that because I was just thinking about you have it set up, Mem, Shlas, Mem, no, like how it's set up. But it's so exact, like everything. And this guy's like, no, make it easier to read. Anyways. Wanted to share that. So very interesting. In Shleimer, Shaykh is the kafir geula merumezes gam b'loshen hakasav kiflam teshia gam loshen Yeshua geula. So doubled. This idea of having something double is also shown in this idea where we see in the loshen hakasav, which is in Eiv, obviously, that says Kiflayim the Teshia, and Teshia is also from the Lashon of Yeshua, which is Geula. So that's pretty cool. The Rebbe always did that, didn't he? The Rebbe all the time would say, very nice, double it, right? Like all the time, the Rebbe would always say, okay.
Yeah. Sometimes even triple it and quadruple it, but I guess we'll get to that. So, ubebirin bepashtus yesh leimar. Kiflayim pa'amim rabois koilil noisef al beis pa'amim kocha gam ribuy. Oh, we're already talking about that. So more than just double, there's also additional multiplications. Oy gam ribuy godil, even much more than that. Va'ad l'tachlis haribuy ba'ofen shel bli gvul. So I guess even just from doubling, it hints on the concept of more and multiplying more and going all the way until the infinite. Something like that. From what we learned, that it says afilu meya pa'amim. שהכוונה בזה לא להגביל אחיו למאה פעמים ולא יסר, אלא גם לריבוי גודל יסר ועד לתכלס הריבוי שנכלל בשלמוס דמאה. So I'm not sure what the Rebbe says when it says kefil aloshin because of afilu mea pa'amim. Oh, it's talking about hocheach techiach. So that's doubled. So in Razal we learn from that what? Not just 2 times double, but it says afilu mea pa'amim. So you can see already this idea that only from double it means many more times. And again, even when Razal say afilu mea pa'amim kacha, it's not just 100. It can be even more than that, showing on the shleimus of 100. No.
Yeah. So, and like we got this Shatachas Ari B'Shnichla B'Shnemis Meik Ma'amer Razal Chayev Adam Levarich Meya Brachas B'Chol Yom. As the Razal say, a person is obligated to make 100 brachas every day. Shebehem Nechlalim Kol HaBrachas VeHa'Areis VeHa'Amshachais VeHa'Ashpais HaYonis. Wow, like a whole bunch of terms here. In the 100 brachas are included all of the blessings, the projections, the downloads, and the transmissions from above. Ki hashleimus the kol ha'inyanim he b'misper eser. The completion of all things is with the number 10. Misper hashalem, the number 10 is the complete number. Kifi shekol echad ne'am kolol me'eser. Oh, so the completion of everything is in the number 10, the way that every one of those 10 are also made up of 10, which means 10 times 10, eser pa'amim eser, which is misper meya. Ubemela nichlo b'zeh gam ha'iskalus the eser b'chol echad meya eser pa'amim meya. So automatically included in this is also the inclusion of 10 times in each of the 100, which is 10 times 100.
So meanwhile, our predictions are doing not so bad, right? Okay, so I'm going to try to continue here. I'm a little bit lost, but it's good. Like, I would love to check out wherever he's quoting over here. I don't even know where he's quoting. But to check out what exactly we're talking about over here, about why doubled means all these kind of things, and why now doubled means pretty much multiplied, right? He's basically saying double doesn't mean double. It means multiplying. This time I wanted to stick in that right? When you double something, what was it? Is that if you have an even number and another even number, so if you multiply, right, if you multiply a number, so then it ends up an even number. But if you take a negative, odd number, it ends up being even number anyways, right? Something like that. I forgot already. Okay, whatever. I'm not sure. Somebody probably knows something. But anyways, okay, Mitzvah Aleph, right? So we said that each 10 includes in it 10. And which is 100, and then you said also about 1,000, pretty much 10 times the hundreds also. Also, the inclusion of 10 in each one. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to listen. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me try to fill in a little bit. I think we started off from the pasuk that says that the Torah says you should rebuke your partner, your comrade, your colleague, and Chachamim say, why does it say twice? It should have said just rebuke him. Why does it say rebuke him twice? From there, as I'll say, and note the language, afilu mea pa'amim. Even 100 times, if you need to rebuke him again and again and again until it gets figured out. Obviously, we know how to do it the Chassidish way. But the point is, notice how from just a doubling of saying the words, Chachamim learned 100. And the Rebbe explains to us what that's all about. The idea of 10 is a completion. And completion of a completion is 100. And you can take that and complete it even further till it gets to 1,000. And don't stop there. Keep going. You take 1,000, complete it by 10, it'll be 10,000, which is Revava. The Kelagam Revava Mloshen Ribui. In the word Revava itself, that already means a lot more multiplication. We're already reaching a number that it's so much that it's not even worth counting anymore. It's so much already. So from here we see this idea that doubling has in it ad kedei infinite. You go more shleimus and shleimus of the shleimus, and you can keep going infinitely. This is maybe a little taste of what it means to climb darkness in the Eibishter when Moshiach comes. Keeps going till infinite.
So now, based on this, we could explain the connection, the knot of the idea of something that's double to redemption. Ki inyan hakefel bli gvul, because what is bli gvul? The concept of double without limitation, shayich legeula hamitzvah shlema, related to the redemption that is true and complete. Sha'az yizgala ba'olam ha'or ha'liki habli gvul. For then will be revealed in the world the godly light that is unlimited. B'lashon hakabbalah v'achsidus gilui eirein seif. The revelation of the never-ending light. So therefore, if we're dealing with a time that is going to be the revelation of infinitude, of no end, that means that there's going to be, everything is going to have the bli gvul. Everything is going to be shleimus ha'amitis, the true completion. Starting with the Geula and Beis Hamikdash are going to be real and truly complete. Geula nitzchis, so Beis Hamikdash nitzchi, bli gvul, the redemption is going to be without limitation. It's going to be everlasting. The Beis Hamikdash is going to be that way also. The loike by Zishnu by Sheni b'Geula Rishenu Shniya shayu meshach zman mukbol taf yud taf chav shana.
Wow. First of all, thank you very much, Israel. I really do appreciate that you clarified that for me, because I'm now found, I think. So, and I also just remember now that there was a video that I was obsessing about for a little bit. I don't remember exactly what the Rebbe was speaking about, but the Rebbe did say this idea, said like, and it should be doubled. And when I say doubled, it doesn't just mean doubled and that's it. It means doubled and redoubled and redoubled. And, so that thing. I also know that I remember this. There's also a line that we used to say all the time. It wasn't me. It was somebody else. Anyways, he used to say a double portion of benediction. I'm like, that's such a weird thing to say. He's like, what do you mean? The Rebbe says it. So I'm like, really? He's like, yes. He shows me. A bunch of people go by the Rebbe, and it says, double portion of benediction. I'm like, that's cool. Anyways, so I think the Rebbe uses it a little more than we think he does. But I guess when we learn this, we get a little bit more of an appreciation. So I was going to ask this before, but I guess I'm getting an answer, is that if the doubling, and I guess if it's in, so I think I have it now. If the doubling is regards to, we said in the beginning, right, Bayis Rishon, Bayis Sheni, that the Nachamu, the consolation is for the destruction of the two Beis Hamikdash. So if Moshe Rabbeinu would actually go and so then with the Nachamu kind of like going to be for. But he's saying this concept. That means that it's the end. It means it's the everlasting. It means it's the right. Does that make sense? Does that fit?
Could be. I guess that's what it. At least from the Haftarah's perspective, that's the idea. Now, I guess we have to see how it connects with Vas Chanan about it. But let's see. V'yesh leimar she'abli gvul shebegeula amitis v'shleima mudgash b'keifel the nachamu yaisir me'asher b'chamish eisius shenichbel v'kulam lashon geula. So we already saw that Keifel doubling has to do with Geula, but now we're going to go into how the words Nachamu specifically, that doubling is particularly even more connected to the Geula, more than those 5 sets of letters from the Aleph base. The Keifel, the Lech Lecha Beis HaTeves, Shabbos Beis Yisin, Lamed V'Chav Pshuta. Right? It's 2 times Lamed and Lain Gechaf. אבל חלוקס הן בפירוש שון ותיכונן, מצד החילוק בנקודסיהן. לך is למד בסגל וחף בשווה, פירושי הליכה. ולכה למד בשווה וחף בקומץ, פירושי להנאסך ולתיבסך. It happens to be spelled with the same letters, but they mean completely different things. Lech is to go, and lecha is for your own good. Di'eshlema shekel gam hanaas v'teives gulasei mi'ur kasdim. For his own redemption out of the area of Ur Kasdim. So that's what's going on with the Lech Lecha. And what I guess the limitations of it is that it has those particular spellings and nekudos and different meanings between the words.
Yes, bekefel the pocket pakadati pirush v'teichen bezatevis shava loshen pkida. So then you have the other type of double, which is pocket pakadati, which it has the same meaning, same teichen, but which is a term of remembering. Aval yesh chiluk b'yisayisen and b'nekudesein, but there's a difference in their lettering and in their vowelization. Pakoid hu sheidish hateva, remember is the root of the word. Upakadati hi ha'pa'ula, I will remember is the adjective, the verb, whatever. I don't know. We don't know. That I'm just talking math and grammar over here. There's all sorts of heavy stuff. It's amazing. That's not for all technics. Anyway, Lashon Avar in a Lashon Avar, so it's past tense or
yeah. I have remembered.
I forgot the English word for the grammar. Anyway, V'al derech zeh Pakoid yifkoid b'loshen asid, that he will remember. V'al derech zeh b'kefel the tzemach gemer yitzmach, shetzemach hu ha'sheidish v'yitzmach hi ha'pa'ula, the root and the pa'ula. So these are things that still have limitations.
So okay, I don't hear exactly why all these things, even though they are doubled, are limited. Maybe if someone has a minute, they'll say it. But okay, so they all have some kind of limitation, I hear. Nachamu, ein chilik b'is yisein u'kudesein yeshu shel tevis ha'kfula sh'shtein shavas mamish. But when we're talking about Nachamu, it's exactly the same word. There's no difference in the letters, no difference in the vowelization, there's no difference in anything. So it's just the same word, equal, doubled, or really, equal. One other thought came to my mind when we were into Shar Yichud from the Mitler Rebbe, when we were doing that with Moshiach 11. So it explains why is Boinus has two nuns. It should just be his Boinus, and that's it. Then basically, what does he say? His Boinus is because you got to go deep into it, and pretty much you go into the essence. You go into the eye, and you go pretty much, I guess, infinitely. And I never really placed it into infinite, but now it completely makes sense, right? That you're really going in deep, you're digging into something without any end. That's what his Boinus is. That you're actually really going into the, your the Iyun.
That's very cool. That's a very interesting word I haven't heard before, but it matches up very, very well with the sikh over here. The fact that two nuns shows not just that it's some doubling, but it goes on and on and on infinitely, which is the idea of isbainin. Very, very good word, a geschmacke word. But I guess what he's trying to say over here with the doubling is that all the other doublings that we saw, there's something about them that dampens a little bit the fact that they're a double. Lech lecha has different pronunciations and different vowelization. So you could technically, in a small sense, say it's not really that much of a doubling. It's one word and another word. The poil, it is a doubling, but there's something that dampens that doubling a little bit. Also, pocket pokadati and semach yitzmach and pocket yivkoid, right? They are double, and they show on the idea of double and gula, but it's a little bit diminished by the fact that it's not, strictly speaking, exactly the same thing that has been doubled. When it comes to Nachamu, it's literally like we're focusing on the fact that this has a lot to do with the fact that it's exactly doubled. So we're focusing a lot on the idea that this is the kind of doubling of Geula, which goes on and on and on, and it's infinite. There's nothing to say about the fact that it might not be exactly a doubling, it's two different words. No, this is literally Nachamu, twice the same word, focusing on this concept of doubling infinitely.
Yeah, by the way, Isaac, I think it's really ha'ara-worthy. I think you should let out the word that you found a chiddush here, that we see in Shara Yichud, because there's no ha'ara here quoting Shara Yichud, and seemingly we're dealing with both the nuns, By hisbaininus, it's the nun going again and again. He wants you to go deeper with the nun. And again over here, we're picking on the nun of Nachamu, which is the Medrash says it's the nun of the kefil of a nun, which the Rebbe is showing that it's Shabbos mamish, and therefore it's bleak vul. So I don't know, maybe there might be a ha'ara here to point to people out. People should notice that there's a connection. I think there's a big connection here. The nun. Maybe nun is a special word that a letter that shows on that ability to keep going, and the same idea of his baininus, and I don't really know. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe because you learned Sharich, a lot. Anyway, Obebir Hamayla, or maybe you got to go again and again and again and think about it and go more and more and more. I feel mea pa'amim, and then until you find a Terech Hadasha. Obebir Hamayla bekefel beis tevis shavis mamish nachmu lagabe kefel beis tevis shesh chiluk b'neihem b'pirushin k'melech lecha egam beis yisayim k'meipakat kad tish leimar. And I was going to explain a little what's so special about having two words that are exactly the same, comparing it to words that are a little different, like lech lecha.
Okay, so thank you very, very much. So that's very cool. Also boosting my ego. Ain't claimed kind. So it's good stuff. So it's time for maybe a joke, maybe it's not a joke, but maybe one of the reasons why the nanachs are so, out there and everywhere is because but it's not exactly double though. It's not exactly the same, but it's nanach, nachman, numa. I mean, there's something there. Obviously, the happiness is a real thing. I mean, it's saying we need that, and it's everywhere. So, anyways, that's one thought. But also, different thought is that, like a scientific perspective, if you think about something really being doubled, that's basically it means that you can do it infinite. If you can really double something exact. That's it. I mean, according to science, that would be impossible, right? A real clone, a perfect clone would be something that's impossible. It doesn't matter how you're doing, even a grain of sand. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I don't know, a molecule, anything, any tiny thing to really make something exactly the same as something else would basically mean, I think, at least a little bit that I do know, would mean that you can make it infinite. Once you can make something exactly the same, then you can make an infinite amount of it. Anyways, yeah, Sheikh now.
Very, very interesting about that. Like the power of infinite is in the power of exact duplication. Very interesting. So, when we have a doubling of a word that does change itself a little bit from the first time that it was said, like pocket pokadati, shows that there is difference, that there is variation in this concept. Or that you didn't capture the full meaning the first time you said it, so you said it again with slight variation to bring out another aspect of it. And that's why you have to come to saying it again in a slightly different way to bring out that concept. So I guess it's already hinting to some sort of a limitation about the concept, the fact that it the first time around wasn't good enough. The first time around, said it only half or only from one side and from one aspect, and it had to come to being able to say it a different way. Mudgash b'shinui kefal aloshin shebechlolos hadavar yeshna meifanim shenim shechalokim zeh mizeh. So, in addition to re-strengthening the same word that you said again, we're also bringing something else out that wasn't there the first time.
By the way, I came up with a little question because seemingly there is a little difference between Nachamu and Nachamu in the Trop. It's Mercha Tipcha. Nachamu, Ami. Well, Nachamu, Ami. Anyway.
Yeah. True.
So, I don't know. Side question, I guess. But yeah, there is basically a big difference here it shows that there was nothing missing. You're not the second time. The doubling is not for the terms of clarification or more defining. No. It's doubling it for the sake of just doubling it because it was totally complete. We're just gonna do more of it. Sorry, where did you this? Mashenkin. Kishakefel ateva hu shave mamish. K'may Nachamu. Ein chiluk b'fanei adavar v'lo yisefes prat v'inyan mesuyam shalai nichol b'pam harishayna. Ki im inyan hakefel kishla atzmai. The only reason why this word is being repeated is for the sake of doubling, for Geula. Because we explained that double is Geula, and that's the only reason why we're doubling it here. Just to prove that we're talking about the Geula. To be very clear, maybe it's a point when you're trying to be clear that you're talking about Geula.
I feel like I'm a little going down a rabbit hole here, It's like, that's what I feel like. It's like, it just keeps on going. I'm like getting pulled into it. No, it's beautiful. Anyway, so I'm like reaching out the thing. First of all, like, if anybody knows, what is the I of Kiflaim L'Tashia? What is that store? What's the source of that? What's the, we said the source in Eov, I think, right? But if anybody knows, if anybody learned the story there. So I don't know exactly what the context is, if anybody knows that. And on a more humorous note, I'm thinking, what else do I know Keifel? And I'm like, Pach Keifel. That's what I know from Kugelach. There's Pach Keifel. I don't remember what it is, but I know that it exists. So I'm sure there's a connection. But the Beis HaMikdash, we had the first one, and then we had a second one. We had two. But we see the same thing there, that it wasn't the same. I don't know if he's going to speak about it or not, but it wasn't the same Beis HaMikdash. There was slight differences. And it wasn't, it didn't stay. It wasn't everlasting. It wasn't infinite. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we just said that. Okay, I'm out of time. Say it. So, lady.
All right. So.
Sorry, Yisrael, sorry.
Oh, no problem. וביר החילוק שביניהם בנגיע לעניין הבלי גבול כפל שבגאולה שבכפל דפוקד פוקדתי מודגש גם שיש לפעמים שונים בהגאולה. So to go into detail about this difference, not just in the words and the meaning of the words, but also to see how it relates to the differences as it relates to Geula. שבכפל דפוקד פוקדתי מודגש גם שיש לפעמים שונים בהגאולה. Over there it shows on differences on the concept of Gula itself. Right? Pocket vocality, apparently, I guess Mefarshim say or whatever, that it alludes to the first Gula, the second Gula from Bais Rishon and Bais Sheni. One is like this and one like that, showing differences and separations and different details in each one of them, which I guess brings out that they might be limited in some way. So it's not infinite, because it has specifics that's in one that doesn't have in the other. A true doubling of something without any additional meaning or differences, just the idea of repetition itself points out that this really is an everlasting thing. This is something that can really be infinite. It's not that it has differences and specifics that are limited. This can really be unlimited.
Helchim kulam ha'avos v'hanavim sheshalchem HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'nachem es Knesset Yisrael l'fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'oimrim. The Medrash speaks about all of them, the fathers, the prophets, that the Eibishter sent to comfort the Yidden. They come in front of the Eibishter. V'oimrim, and they say, Ribono shel Olam, Master of the world, eina mekabelas mimenu tanchumin. Knesset Yisrael is not accepting comfort from us. Shneimar, as it says, Aniya Sayara Leinu Chama. Don't know exactly what those words mean, but it means something of not being comforted. Amar Lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ani ve'atem nelech v'ninachamena. Okay, so let's go. I'll go with you and let's go comfort her. Hoi, Nachamu, Nachamu, or Have, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami. So the Medrash explains that's how Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami happened. So basically the story behind Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami is the Abishah says, let's go comfort her together. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami. Nachamua, Nachamua, Ami.
Imi, maybe?
Imi.
Ayin b'chirik.
Imi, with me. Beautiful. Ayin b'chirik b'makim patach. Shepirusha I madi. Ein roi leilech ella ani ba'atzmi.
Oh, that's hot. Okay. The Yeshloimar, she in them rumors gam becovered the Nachamu Nachamu, Shakafu Moira ala Bli Gvul, Shemenachama Kimishana Chama, he idea Kadish Baruch Ba'atzmai. Bli Gvul Amiti. I'm finding, I mean, like, I think I'm catching the hang of what's going on here, but I'm finding it very strange that the Rebbe is chasing after it's like, almost seems like he's chasing after it. It's like, like, because it says it twice, and that's what it means, and like, it I don't know. it just doesn't seem to, like, or maybe just the opposite. Maybe because it's just something that just, like, no one has connected this, because, like, everything else seems like that. Oh man, I know I'm not being coherent at all. Everything seems like when we're talking about the Geula, the third base of Mikdash, the everlasting Geula, which will be everything, like, we just had it the other week in regards to 3, and we spoke about 4 and 5, and it's like the Rebbe is sticking with 2 here, and like, because two means infinite, and I guess that's what we need to connect, even 2, like, not even 2.
Yeah. I remember feeling similar complexes, or whatever you want to call it, every time we learn a Maimar or a Sikh or something about a particular Yom Tov. Learn about a Maimar about Purim. Oh, Purim! That's the ultimate, infinite Giloi. Pesach? Nah, who even talks about Pesach? Pesach, that's the ultimate. Oh, Rosh Hashanah, every Yom Tov has its, but I guess everything has its aspect where it really wins and outweighs in so many different ways. So really, a few weeks ago we ran ahead with 2, 3, 4, 5, but the Rebbe said, hey, wait. 2 itself, by the way, number 2 has a lot to it. Speaking of which, by the way, I do need to get going soon, so I guess maybe let's finish this round and then I gotta get going. But Bekitsur, all right, so let's see over here. So I got a little confused actually over here, because on the one side we're talking about the Eibusher said to the Avos, come, let's both go together, me and you, and be menachem the Yidden. But then we say something about the Eibusher himself. Ani ba'atzmi. I might be missing something here. Ein roi lelich ela ani ba'atzmi gishlimar she'inen zemerumos gam bekefel de Nachamu, which is just what we spoke about over here. So I'm not sure what. Okay. Shakefel mer al bli gvul shebenachama kevan shenachama el yakadosh baruch hu ba'atzmi bli gvul amiti. Maybe Levi can enlighten something over here. But the idea, I guess, is that okay, go ahead, Levi, take it away.
I have technically the same question. I'm not sure exactly, because it seems like he says imi, then he says ani ba'atzmi. I'm going to do it myself. I don't know. Also about the idea, I guess, of connecting each time of the year. This is the highest time for the Geula, and then connecting each number to the Geula. It seems like that's part of the galus of Terech Hadash Miti Teitze. Part of the revelation of Geula is when we realize that there's no separation. It's all Hashem Echad, U'Shmai Echad. Everything in the world, it looks like there's so many different things. It looks like there's many numbers. It looks like there's many different times of year. But really, it's all one thing at all times. It's all Atzmos. It's all the Eibishter. And it's all Echad. And this is the ultimate, to teach you and to make you feel it, to realize that it's mamish all one thing. And therefore, we have the Hira of Leben mit der Zeit. Because how do you realize that everything is one? Not by running away from time, not by saying that forget about the time of year, because really it's not, there's no differences, there's no different times, there's no different numbers. No. Look at the numbers, look at the time, live with it, and realize that now shows you that this is all one.
Good gesagt. I don't know if it's very safe for me to finish off, because then you can end up with whatever I decide to make up. But I'm going to attempt for two possible answers, I think, if I understood your questions correctly. So one is that we're saying exactly that. Meaning God is, Hashem is speaking about himself in regards to his etzem. Only Atmos could go and actually do the Nachamu. So, meaning imi and ba'atzmi, I think we're trying to say the same thing, is that it's talking about Hashem as an Atmos. Anyways, I don't know if that answers your question, but to me it seems like it. And the other possible answer is exactly what you were just saying, how everything is taka one. Because at first I'm thinking about it and I'm saying, 1 second, who's Knesset Yisrael? Right, we started speaking about Knesset Yisrael. And the Avos and the Nevi'im are trying to be Nachem Knesset Yisrael. So that means Avos and Nevi'im are not included in Knesset Yisrael? Or they are included in Knesset Yisrael. And then later what happens? And then Hashem totally includes himself in this whole ordeal also. So I think we're kind of, when we're saying Etzem, all the rules kind of get broken. I think there was a little bit of discussion on the group today about it. But like all the rules are like, you know, you're going to be at Kosher Bracha or you're going to be part of the action. Like, both. Okay. So we're up to Hey. Moshiach now.
Yeah, Moshiach now, thank you very much. That was awesome. We had a great time.
All right, sei gesund.
Me too. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. Moshiach now.
Moshiach now.
Moshiach now.